G'day mates, it's Keiichi here with another video on SINoALICE. This time I want to run through some tips on how to complete Conquest events. And I thought I'd do this video because with the recent Conquest events redux, I did end up in some co-op battles that didn't end so well. So to help minimize that, here we are. Anyways, let's start. Tip number 1, research. As with any stage fight in any game, you can choose to be a Leroy Jenkins and jump into battle ill-prepared, then waste your AP and time as well as everyone else's if it's a co-op battle, or not do that. My guild has reliable knowledge sharing, but if your guild doesn't have that, you can always use external websites such as the one I'm going to put on the screen. That can help you understand what the battle entails, and you can know what character, class, weapons, armor, and nightmares would be effective. So that should help you with setting up your grid. Alright, moving on to the next tip. Farm armor events! If you've watched my video on the last armor event, then you should know how important armor is for Conquest. By the way, so if you want to check it out, I've added a button on the top right of the screen. Also, as of the making of this video, the Perfect Trio armor event is currently happening, and I have to say it's arguably the best armor event so far. Because if you have weapons from the Bayonet of Contempt Grimoire and you have them equipped in your grid or subgrid, the multipliers on those weapons will mean more fodder! Yay! Thanks to this, I not only managed to get the featured armor story support skills all to 15, I also managed to get another armor set story support skills to max as well. Just remember, when you're doing the armor event, you've got the right grid on and you have those weapons equipped. Alright, next tip. Level up your weapon story skills. Similar logic to the armor one. If you have low level story skills, your weapons are gonna do puny damage. Same logic. Enough said. Alright, next one. Set up reminders for Conquest event times! Now, if you're easily distracted or you multitask like me, this tip will be handy. I personally play on BlueStacks and PC, so I'm able to have the following website, which I'll put on the screen, open with the alarm function toggled on to remind me a few minutes before the start of a Conquest window. Please note that I only have been able to confirm that this alarm function on this website works on Edge. It doesn't work on Google Chrome. But if you know on what other internet browsers that this might work on, then feel free to comment down below. Otherwise, just stick with the traditional setting up multiple alarms on your preferred device. But remember to turn them off. Otherwise, you'll continue to be reminded for conquests that don't exist. PC Master Race! Alright, next tip. Check your co-op battle settings. Alright, you've done your research, you've got a grid to go, and you plan to solo the Conquest event. Make sure you check your co-op battle settings, and make sure you have the right friends selected. And the right friends are going to be those friends who have the right character, the right class, and if they're vanguards, they're gonna have the right mix of weapons. For example, we have Ogre right now. You will want your vanguard friends to have mainly fire weapons, then wind weapons, then water weapons in that order. If they have mainly water weapons in their grid, don't bring them, or you'll regret it. And if you don't remember to select friends, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get these guys on the screen. And I'm sure you've seen them before. And if you've seen them before, you should know that they hit like wet noodles. And there's no cleric, so you're not gonna get heals either. And once you see that you have all of them, or some of them, you realize that you've just wasted your AP and time. So try not to do that, okay? Alright, next tip. check the roles that have already joined. Okay, what if you plan to join a co-op battle? Don't jump in right away. Make sure you check the roles that have already joined, because it'll really suck if, say, you're DPS or you're cleric and you join in and there's not enough DPS or heals. I've joined battles where it was all a mix of sorcerers and minstrels and I was the only DPS. And trying to carry DPS on your own is so rough because SP management is so hard. I was suffering in that situation. So yeah, make sure you check or you'll regret. And then finally, my last tip. Communicate. Don't hesitate to communicate with your party while in a co-op battle. You need to know who's got what nightmares. And you might also need to confirm strategy just in case they're newbies. Even if you're with randoms. Because it just takes one person to ruin everything. I'll give you an example. So earlier today, I joined a co-op battle and unfortunately someone had already died. So it was just me as one DPS, there being another DPS and 2 clerics. I didn't know how strong the other DPS was, but I thought, okay, even if the other DPS was not strong enough, we could probably do it as long as we had 2 fire nightmares. So I was trying to ask the party what they had. Only the DPS responded. And before I could even get a response from the clerics, we made it to wave 5. And because it was only 2 DPS versus 3 DPS, we had to spend a little bit more time cycling out the weapons that weren't going to be so effective during DPS burst, and I also had to make sure SP recovered. And during that time, I was asking the clerics what nightmares they had. No response. So by the time we chipped enough health, we had to get going. So we had cast Cecilia, and then I cast Reconnaissance for the fire damage increase. And then we got to the last bar and Reconnaissance ran out. I then asked, fire nightmares? Anyone? The clerics did nothing! The clerics didn't do anything. They didn't say anything. They didn't summon anything. They just sat there healing like they were trolling or something, or just being lazy. I don't know. Maybe they were just ordering. But because of their lack of action, we died. And I never felt so mad in my life. At least in my SINoALICE life. I was so mad that I wanted to blacklist them. But I forgot their names already. So if they wanted to stay on my follow list, good thing that I have the memory of a goldfish. Anyways, better to be safe than sorry, as they say. So make sure you guys in your parties know what you're doing. Well, that's all I have. So I hope that this video has been helpful. Please feel free to comment down below, like, subscribe, and check out my other socials. Until next time, bye bye!